Ciao e bentornati, welcome back to Pillole d'Italiano. You can consider today's episode number 86, as a sort of an intervention. Let me explain. In the past couple of days, I've been receiving emails, messages, and I've also been having conversations with some of my clients about this specific issue that I'm sure some of you, maybe all of you, experienced already. The issue is not being able to recall words that you have already learned, words that you should know, and also feeling bad about it, feeling frustrated, feeling embarrassed. Though every single one of us is different, what I notice is a general negative attitude towards the issue, sometimes towards the self as well. Before I tell you about my personal take on it and what I tend to do when this stuff happens to me, because yes, though I speak multiple languages, I too forget words at times, let me take a second to mention a quick video training that I'm putting together for my email subscribers only, and it's about a 5-step technique to boost your vocabulary retention. So as I mentioned, this is just for my email subscribers. How do you become a subscriber? In the description of this episode, below the video, you will find a link. Just click on it, you will be redirected to my website, and there you can easily sign up for my newsletter. And you will receive the video training as soon as it's ready. And now back to the episode. As I mentioned before, the fact of not being able to recall words that you should know as you're trying to use them in a regular conversation when you need them the most is super common, really, really common. There is no person that I worked with who doesn't experience that at some point. For some people it happens more often than others, but it's something that happens to everyone. And full disclosure, I speak 4 languages fluently, and it happens quite often that I cannot recall Italian words, and Italian is my native language. Am I going to be embarrassed and beat myself up about it? Well, I used to. It doesn't help for you to unlock that memory, not at all. You're actually putting unnecessary pressure on you. And so now I know better and I have a different approach and a different attitude. But let me tell you, I notice how so many people have this attitude that it's borderline abusive. I know. Abusive is such a strong word, but hear me out. If you ever had a thought such as, oh gosh, why can't I remember this word? I've been studying it for X number of months or years. What's wrong with me? I'm so stupid. I'm so slow, etc., etc., right? You get the gist. If you ever thought anything like that about yourself, and if you ever felt inadequate, that something was wrong with you, that you were not good enough, that is a form of self-abuse. If somebody else were to say those things out loud to us, we will not be taking that BS. We will not be listening. We will be pushing them away out of our lives. So why do we do it to ourselves? And how do you think that that is going to impact our sense of self? How do you think that we're going to feel? How assertive are we going to be? How self-confident are we going to be if we keep repeating those messages, which, by the way, will circle in our heads over and over again thousands of times every day about not being good enough, not smart enough, or there is something wrong with me, etc., etc. That does not help at all. So what is a better attitude? And this is my attitude, the way that I go about it. I notice how it helped me a lot. It might work for you. Something else might work for you as well. This is not the only way, but it's definitely a better way than beating yourself up because you don't remember words. Well, as simplistic as it might sound, my first step is just acceptance. I accept the fact that I don't remember that word in that moment, and that's okay. By accepting the situation instead of fighting it, I relax. My body, my mind, they just relax. I even smile and I laugh at the situation, not at myself, but I laugh at the situation that I'm in. As I said, I don't remember a word in Italian. Well, okay, no big deal. I accept the situation. And the second very powerful step is to ask for help. You are not alone in this. What does it mean to ask for help? What does help look like? How do you ask for help? In my case, if I'm forgetting a word in Italian, I oftentimes simply pick up the phone, I phone home, and I call my mom and I ask her. We laugh together about the situation and about the fact that I temporarily was not able to recall a word, even a very simple word, I explain the concept, I go around it, and I find it. Another way of asking for help is simply by Googling stuff. We do it all the time. Do it for your target language as well. If you cannot recall a word, there is no shame. Look it up. If you have a trusted online dictionary that it's a bit better than Google Translate, use that. I love Reverso. It's not perfect, but it's definitely better than Google Translate. I use it very, very often. So it sounds super easy, right? When you don't remember a word, you only have 2 steps to follow. First, you accept the situation. You accept the fact that in that moment you cannot recall a word. Second, you look it up. Seriously, the less pressure you put on yourself when it comes to speaking a language, the better it is for you, the better the results you're going to achieve, the easier it's going to be, the more fun your language journey is going to be. I'm going to leave it at that. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, don't forget to like it. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe so you're not going to miss any future one. And I will see you in a week. Ciao, a presto!